Presented by Ford and the Ford dealers of your community, who tonight bring you Cecil Kellaway, Elsa Lanchester, and Arthur Franz in Hanrahan with Katharine Grant.
Great things are happening in the field of power, in air power, and in truck power. Something sensational is happening to truck engine design. Look under the hood for an advance that is now revolutionizing truck performance and gas savings. It's the greatest development since the introduction of the V8, a totally new type of power. Modern short-stroke design, and Ford trucks have got it. Only Ford can offer you a short-stroke engine in every truck. Every truck, without exception, from pickups to 60,000-pound big jobs. And here's how short-stroke design can increase engine efficiency and save you money. See? The short-stroke piston travels a shorter distance, and pistons travel at slower speed. This reduces friction. Piston rings last up to 53% longer. Engines last longer and save up to 1 gallon of gas in 7. So to get a truck that costs less to run, look under the hood. And remember, only Ford has a short-stroke engine, V8 or 6, in every truck. Look for a short-stroke engine in a Ford triple economy truck for $55. They're at your Ford dealers right now. Come in and look under the hood of a real moneymaker.
And up spoke McCoy, who was there for the christening, as drunk as a lord with his 2 eyes a-glistening. I'll say what I think, and you'd better be listening. I've got my shillelagh to prove that I am right.
Hanrahan, supper's nearly ready. You better get cleaned up.
All right, you old dragon.
What did you say?
I said the snapdragons are in bloom.
Oh, I thought that was what you said, but it didn't sound like it. You and your niece, Kitty, you make me ashamed to take the money for your rooms and board. With her making beds and washing up, you always out in the yard and making it look as pretty as a picture in a magazine. You know, my late husband...
It is no trouble, Mrs. Bowker.
Mrs. Bowker, isn't it about time you called me Rosie? Timothy?
The saints protect me.
What?
I was saying, 'tis a lovely bed spring sprouting from the garden next door. 'Tis a lovely thing, clustered in a beautiful grouping of old automobile tires.
Thanks to you, Hanrahan. I got the prettiest backyard in the whole block.
I have indeed. I wouldn't be surprised if the little leprechauns was to move in on you one of these fine spring nights. Where else could they go in this dirty city?
You and your leprechauns. Anybody'd think you believed in them.
But I do believe in them. I've seen them.
Now, Hanrahan.
'Tis the truth, I'm telling you. I saw one in the old Killarney Vale. One night when the moon was a brilliant yellow and I was on my way home from a meeting of the MJB Society.
MJB?
Murder John Bull. Well, I was walking through the woods and all of a sudden, there he was, with his legs apart and his little hands stretched high. "Stand where you are, Hanrahan," said he. "And what would the likes of you be wanting with the likes of me," says I. "'Tis the grog on your left hip pocket," says I. And before I should say Kilkenny cat, he was gone, and so was the grog from my left hip pocket. But there, shining in the moonlight where the leprechaun had dropped it, was the gold piece. Enough for 50 pints.
Leprechauns. It was the Irish whiskey. You drink enough of that stuff and you see all kinds of little things.
Tell me, Mrs. Bowker, is it corned beef you have to go with the cabbage that's perfuming the evening breeze?
Corned beef and cabbage it is. Oh, and I hope Kitty comes in before the hot biscuits are ruined.
Oh, she will. A Hanrahan will never let a square meal wait.
Hello, Uncle Tim. Hello, Rosie.
Hey, yeah? What did I tell you? Kitty, 'tis corned beef and cabbage.
Fine, I'm starved. Be right down. Oh, no, hot biscuits. How's Joe? Oh, he's wonderful. He's picking me up in a little while. We're going dancing. You know, you ought to be upstairs putting yourself for him instead of drying dishes.
Can you look at that now?
What is it?
Fireflies, 3 of them I caught for you. Now, look at that. Little devils with the tail lights blinking away. like they all wanted to make a left turn.
For me?
Well, who else? It's a powerful charm. Hang it at the foot of your bed and place it where you can see it after you've turned out the lights. And then when you go to sleep, you'll dream of your sweetheart.
And what'll happen?
He'll come running to you, maybe in the middle of the night. You'd better lock your door.
Oh, I'll take him to my room right now.
But don't go dreaming. Don't go wasting your dreams on this knucklehead Joe Newbury.
Well, he's the best mechanic in the garage. Mr. Vanessa told me so himself.
Well, then why isn't he proud of it? Why isn't he satisfied with a good job? Instead of always wanting to be a millionaire or something.
It's not for himself, Uncle Tim. It's for me. He wants me to be able to quit my job when we're married. He wants to give me everything. What's wrong with that, Hanrahan?
There's nothing wrong with it, except that he'll probably be 180 years old before anything happens.
All right. I'll tell you. It's a secret, but I'll tell you. Joe saved up $2,000, and he's going to invest it in the garage. So he'll be sure of his job, and he'll get a percentage of the profits.
Has he now? Well, now, he's got more sense than I gave him credit for.
Oh, he's got his start, Uncle Tim. We'll be married sooner than you think.
Ah, bless you. Kushler.
What's the matter, Joe? You're not very gay for our celebration.
I'm sorry. Kitty,
Whatever it is, you better tell me, Joe.
it's this Pietro Campos I was talking about.
Well, the one with the French card.
You know what he is? He's the biggest car dealer in Rio de Janeiro. All makes. English, French, Italian, American. Well, he was talking to me this morning while I was working on his carburetors. He's looking for a good shop foreman.
In Rio de Janeiro?
He's expanding his business. Looking for new capital, too. Why, American dollars buy an awful lot down there. You know, for $2,000...
Joe?
Now, wait till you hear. For $2,000, I can be junior partner and shop foreman. Commission and salary. Why, in a couple of years...
You've made up your mind.
Well, you see, I had to think fast. We're leaving at the end of next week.
And you're going to put in your money.
I drew it out this afternoon and handed it to him. But I got a receipt, and Vanessa witnessed it.
What about us?
I won't be able to take you with me. But as soon as the money starts rolling in, well, it won't even be a year, maybe 6 months, and I'll be able to send for you.
I don't want to wait till you've got a lot of money. It'd be fun working our way up in the world together.
My wife's gonna live like a lady.
I don't want to, Joe. I want to live like a wife.
Hello.
Yeah, all right, I'll come right away.
Well, Hanrahan, how are you?
Still able to do a day's work. And she's good. Keeps me out of mischief.
But I don't think you're ever going to need that funeral you're saving for.
What are you saying? I wouldn't miss it. I'd as soon kill myself. And that's a mortal sin.
Well, not for years and years. See you, Tim.
Goodbye, Jim.
Bye.
There's a pretty picture for you, Hanrahan. Silver handles and genuine imported white ruffled silk.
Oh, it is beautiful. Breathtaking.
What a way to go. Looks absolutely inviting, if you'll pardon the expression. Of course, I could have it lined with Irish linen.
Oh, no. That stuff makes me back itch. Yeah, tell me, O'Toole, you don't think this silk frill stuff is going to make me look a bit sissy-like, do you?
'Tis proud they'll be, the pallbearers, each one holding a silver handle.
After the wake, this proud they'll be if they can walk straight.
Now, for another $26, of course, I could give you one with a lead bottom, which is considered very desirable.
Lead bottom? Oh, no. I'll not be needing anything to keep me down. What I'll need is a little help to lift me up to a higher place. No, I'll take the mahogany one with the silver handles and the silk lining.
You'll not regret it.
Eh? There's one thing about being an undertaker, Pat O'Toole. You don't have your customers calling in the next day to complain that they weren't comfortable.
First thing in the morning, I'll put away one of our number 17As with your name on it. The deposit you paid on the other casket will cover it.
Fine, fine. Well, you've come a long way since the day that I called into your shop to bargain for the $50 funeral.
Good night, Hanrahan.
Good night, you planter, too.
You give me the creeps, Hanrahan. You and your fine funeral.
Once upon a time, there was a woman who minded her own business. Straight to heaven she went, she did when she died.
Scrimping and saving, pinching every penny till you haven't got a shirt that isn't in tatters. And all for...
Sit down. Sit down. I want to tell you something. 48 years ago, my dear mother died. God rest her soul. She died without a penny to bless herself. And they gave her a pauper's funeral. I decided then and there that if I couldn't have a decent funeral, I'd never hold up my head again. And so for over 25 years, I got into the habit of going to the bank every payday and putting in $1 or so, or whatever I could afford.
For more than 25 years? Why, you must be...
Let me tell it with you. I figured that in a few years I'd have enough for a funeral, a little wake, and maybe a keg of beer.
Well, now you're talking sense.
You love the sound of your own voice, don't you? And a little while ago, I began to realize that I had more than enough for a keg of beer and a pine box. And so I called in Planter 2, and I told him that I wanted to go on for a later and better model. And that's all there is to it.
Well, it's unnatural and selfish. Turning yourself into a miser so that you can spend the money on a show after you're dead. Why, with the money you've saved, you could get married and retire.
Oh, so that's it, is it? You're still trying to get your hooks into me.
Don't you flatter yourself, Mr. Hanrahan. Men aren't that scarce.
Oh, that's nice.
Why, when I was a girl, boys used to fight for my phone number.
When you was a girl, the telephone wasn't even invented.
So why, you old goat? I had dozens of men courting me. I remember I used to sit on the balcony in the back of our house, and they'd serenade me.
Back balcony bowker, they called.
Your insults don't bother me, Mr. Hanrahan. I know you better now. You just do that to cover up.
I don't think I'll be coming home to lunch tomorrow. When I'm with you, I hear the sound of wedding bells clanging in my ears.
Joe Newberry?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, you looking for me?
My name's Johnson, Bunko Squad.
Yeah?
You know a man by the name of Santos, Pareto, Fernandez, Campos, Dargis?
Yeah, I know Pietro Campos.
You work on his car?
Yeah. Tune-up a couple of days ago.
You know it was stolen?
Stolen. When? He was just in it day before yesterday.
Not stolen from him, stolen by him.
Oh, we must be talking about the wrong guy. This Pedro Campos is a big man. Why?
Is this picture?
Yeah. But there must be some mistake.
Bad mistake. Running around in a hot car.
You mean you're sure?
Sure, we're sure. Funny, take a chance with a stolen car. He's got a much better racket than car theft.
What is his racket?
Goes around selling partnerships in his businesses in Brazil. Whatever kind of business suits the sucker.
Oh, but you're bound to catch him, aren't you? I mean, now that you know about him, you're sure to pick him up.
Truth, I doubt it.
But with the police looking for him, they're bound to get him. Why,
Suppose he has a passport in his right name. We don't even know what his name is, or his nationality. Shaves off his mustache, packs a bag, and...
Yeah. Poof.
Pardon me, dear. but I'd rather drive the Ford.
Did you see that? I didn't even have a chance. But don't smile. It could happen to you. My wife says driving's really fun since she got her 55 Ford. It handles so smoothly it just seems to glide through traffic. And it's as easy to park as a supermarket shopping cart. She says it attracts more attention than a brand new Easter bonnet. And what's more, she can enjoy its good looks all year round. She also claims that this car has more power than she'll ever need. Of course, it's got Ford's 162 horsepower Y-block V8 engine and speed trigger automatic drive, all of which adds up to trigger torque performance, which is nice to have on tap when you need it in a hurry. And as a matter of fact, that just ask me responsiveness is nice to have around for most driving situations. Now, sir, I don't blame her a bit for taking the Ford. And after all, I don't have to take the other car very far, just as far as my Ford dealers. You see, today's the day I pick up my 55 Ford. Give you any ideas? Then why not talk it over with your Ford dealer?
Sit down, Joe. What do you think I am? You can't face me if you make a mistake. You can't marry me if I have to keep my job. Two people who love each other.
Sure, two can live as cheap as six. Mornings you get up, wash up, make the beds and run to the factory. At night, you come home tired, start cooking dinner. Then do the housework and it's bedtime.
Thousands of young people do it every day. I'm strong as Murphy's goat, Uncle Tim says.
Kitty, I love you. And I'm not going to let you work yourself to death just for me. I still got my job and I can start saving again. It won't take me as long this time. See, just what is going on up there?
I don't know. But that's Uncle Tim's room. Come on.
What happened? I held him. What, a burglar? A burglar? No. What would I be wanting with a burglar? No, it was a leprechaun. A fine little leprechaun. I caught him with his hand in my pocket. Jumped out to the window, but what a fight he put up.
Oh, you hurt, Uncle Tim.
Well, of course I've heard. A leprechaun's only a little fella, but he has the strength of 17 people. But I didn't let him go till he told me.
Told you what?
Told me where the treasure was hidden. Oh.
No, Uncle Tim.
You don't believe me? All right, well, come along with me. We'll soon see. Come along. You know, these leprechauns, they're clever little thieves. You know what you've got to do with the body or all. No, I tell you, we'll soon find out. There you are. That's where he told me I'd find it. Come along now, look for it. Down there. Have you got it?
I don't feel anything.
Well, it must be there. Feel deeper. The little people are pledged to speak the truth, you know. Feel deeper.
Wait, I feel something. Feels like burlap.
Well, come along now. Put it up.
Yeah, a sack of rubbish.
No.
There you are.
Sounds like money. It is! It is money!
Well, come along now. Let's go on and count it. Come on.
$623.41. Is that right, Uncle Tim?
Right to the penny.
$467.85. How much have you counted, Joe?
Look, what's the joke? I don't think it's very funny.
Who said it was funny?
If Hanrahan gets a kick out of playing leprechauns and hiding money.
Me hiding money? And where would I be getting the money to hide? Me who never had $100 to my name. Except once, between the 4th and 5th race at Belmont Park.
How much have you got there, Joe?
$591.38. I don't know where you got the money, but I never did believe in your little people, and I'm not going to start now.
Oh, $1,989.92. $2,000.
Ah, Kitty, my darling, you're a lucky girl.
Me?
Well, of course, it was you who found it.
Oh, but it was you who...
Oh, no, Country. 'Tis all yours. 'Tis all... But don't you go making a mistake of investing it with this Mr. Rio de Janeiro.
Listen to me, Joe. What Uncle Tim says is true.
I'm not accepting charity from him or anybody else.
He never has any money, except what's left of his pay after he spends the evening at Grogan's. Well, Rosie just manages to scrape by on her pension at what we give her for board.
Or maybe he didn't hide the money. Maybe some burglar or somebody did, and he just happened to find it. Anyway, it's his.
But he doesn't need it. And anyway, he's my uncle. If he wants to give it to me...
All the same, Hanrahan, you shouldn't have done it.
But I'm telling you for the last time, woman, it was the leprechaun's money. Didn't I risk my life holding him down? And him with the strength of 17. What's that you got there?
It's a pair of your long underwear that you should have thrown away long ago.
I'll not throw away anything. It'll hide my nakedness, such as it is, at my age.
Well, I could put in a false seat.
What do you do with mending my things and all? It is a terrible forward thing for a widow to go moving in on a bachelor's private affairs.
Well, I guess you'll have to wear them forever now. Now that you haven't got any money.
Silver handles, silk linings. But I've been pride. And that's one of the 7 deadly sins.
You're a good man, Hanrahan. And you've got a heart that's too big for your own good.
I'm as troubled to keep your plans in your hands to yourself, Mrs. Barker.
I suppose you'd think I had designs on you if I offered to make you a cup of tea.
I might. If you could offer a cup of tea and a bit of cake would be nice before bedtime.
Morning, Joe.
Oh, morning, sir.
Decide to put your money back in the bank after all?
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Richardson.
Well, it's a good thing for a young man to have money in the bank. Gives him a feeling of independence. Oh, by the way, Joe, do you still see Kitty Jones?
Oh, yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you about Kitty Jones's uncle. Have you seen him lately?
Hanrahan? Yeah, I saw him last night.
He's not sick.
Sick? I don't think Hanrahan's ever had a sick day in his life.
Good. He's an old friend, and I was worried. When he drew out his money, I began to wonder.
What money?
Well, yesterday when I wasn't here, he drew it all out. Asked for paper bills and plenty of silver change. I thought he was getting ready to die.
Mr. Richardson, something I want to talk to you about. Can we talk in your office? There's something I want you to help me to straighten out.
Hello. What is it, Joe?
Hello? This here is Hanrahan speaking. Who did you say? Oh, Jim Richardson, right? No, I can't come to the bank now. I've got no work to do. What do you mean something strange has happened? You'll wait for me. Okay. I'll be in a little after 5. Are you trying to tell me that a leprechaun came in here, into the bank?
A what?
A leprechaun?
What's a leprechaun?
A leprechaun's a little creature like what you told me. That's a leprechaun.
Oh. Well, I was doing some figures here, and I looked up. There he was, seated right on this box. And this money was in a sack on the floor beside the desk.
Oh, I don't like the look of this at all, at all. What did he say?
He asked if we had a depositor named Timothy Aloysius Hanrahan.
Oh, he knows my full name. It's bad.
He said that there was $2,000 in lawful money in the sack, but when we counted it, it was $10.08 shy.
$10.08? Oh, the saints protect me.
Well, that's about all. He said he was depositing the money to your account.
Oh, no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, at all.
He did leave a message for you. He said, you will tell this Hanrahan the next time he goes making up stories about little people, he'll wish he had cut his tongue out first.
Holy Moses! Leprechauns in the United States! Wouldn't you think the immigration people would be on the lookout for them? I mean, it's a terrible thing, infiltration by leprechauns. I'm going to get out of this. And if anything should happen to me, pass the word on to Plant O'Toole, like he told you.
I couldn't just let him give it to us. And I got news for you. You wouldn't have kept it either.
I'm not so sure. Uncle Tim knew you and I could get married once you were parting in the garage. He loves me, and he knows I love you.
You know, I really believe you do. Although for the life of me, I can't figure out why.
Shall I give you a few dozen reasons?
Beats me. You still want to marry me, knowing what a knucklehead I am. I guess it was worthwhile my meeting Pedro Campos after all.
Think you got your money's worth?
Yeah. $1 million lesson for $2,000. A lesson I guess I had to learn. But you climb a ladder one rung at a time. I had some pretty big ideas.
Look, you'll always have big ideas. Fine ideas. I love you for wanting to make things lovely for me. Only when it means waiting and waiting, I don't.
I had another talk with Vanessa this morning. Gonna pay me a commission on any new business I bring in. Of course, it won't amount to much, but do you think you'd still be interested in fighting our way up in the world together?
I can't think of anything I'd be more interested in.
Come on. What have you got there?
None of your business.
Let me see it. Oh, she's a firefly. Woman, wouldn't you be using your own charm? Yes, but what are you going to do with this? Hang it at the end of your bed. Turn around.
No, I won't.
Turn around or I'll take the shillelagh to you.
Well?
Come on. Come on. Now listen, Rosie. For over 3 years, Kitty and I have been living with you in your boarding house. Most of the time we spent in arguing and fighting, and it seems to me like it might go on forever.
So?
So, as far as the funeral is concerned, I think I'd better go on living until I can afford to die. And you know, an American honeymoon might be a lot more fun than an Irish wake.
Theater has been presented on film by Ford and the Ford dealers of your community. Ford Theater, presented by Ford and the Ford dealers of your community, who tonight bring you Lorraine Day and Franchot Tone in Too Old for Dark, with Natalie Wood.
How long has it been since you drove a Ford? If you're having trouble remembering, then you really haven't any idea what a truly fine car Ford is. So why don't you slip into the driver's seat of this 55 Ford Fairlane Victoria and take a look around? These nylon and vinyl upholsteries were designed especially for this smart Fairlane Victoria. Sort of gives you that, how long has this been going on feeling, doesn't it? And notice the really wide-angle view you get with Ford's new huge wrap-around windshield. Now, if you'll just turn the key starter, put the Ford-O-Matic drive selector into drive, and ease your foot gently down on the accelerator. Easy. You've got trigger torque power under your toe. You don't have to tromp on the gas to get action. However, it's nice to know that super responsiveness is there if you should need it.